Welcome, my fellow tax professionals. This video relates to the sources of tax law as it relates to the Offer and Compromise program offered through the Internal Revenue Service. I'm your host, Attorney Robert Schaller, and I'm also the author of this course. There's basically four sources of tax law as it relates to Offer and Compromise. The first source is the U.S. Tax Code. Those are laws passed by Congress and signed by the President of the United States. The second source are Treasury regulations. Those are regulations promulgated by the United States Secretary of the Treasury. The third source of tax law are court opinions. Court opinions usually come from either the United States Tax Court or other federal courts. For example, the United States District Court, the United States Court of Appeals, or of course the United States Supreme Court. The fourth source of tax law is the Internal Revenue Manual that's issued by the IRS. Now enjoy the courses and learn more about where these actual laws come from. The United States Tax Code is the primary source of Offer and Compromise tax law. The tax code is a statute and not a regulation, which will be discussed separately a little later. It is the highest authority of tax law. The tax code is a statute by definition because the tax bills were passed by Congress and the President of the United States signed the bills into law. The tax code is published in the United States Code. The United States Code is the compilation of all laws passed by Congress, including tax laws, bankruptcy laws, securities laws, etc. The United States Tax Code is found in Title 26 of the U.S. Code. The Offer and Compromise laws are located in Section 7122 of Title 26. That section is frequently cited as 26 U.S.C. Section 7122. Now let's compare Treasury regulations with the tax code. Unlike the tax code, which are laws passed by Congress, Treasury regulations are laws that are promulgated by the United States Secretary of the Treasury. Regulations are designed to implement the U.S. tax code provisions. Treasury regulations have the same force of law as the tax code, unless the regulations are inconsistent with the tax code provisions. Unlike the tax code, which is published in the U.S. Code, Treasury regulations are published in the Code of Federal Regulations, which is commonly referred to as the CFR. Some of the Offer and Compromise regulations are located at 26 CFR 301.7122-1. Now let us consider whether court opinions are a source of new tax law. Surprising to some tax professionals, court opinions are not a source of new tax law from a lawyer's perspective. Instead, court opinions are interpretations of existing law. Judges are sometimes criticized for legislating from the bench when they create new law based on what laws the judges believe Congress should have passed instead of what laws Congress actually passed. The role of the judiciary is to fill in the blanks when the tax laws are vague or ambiguous. The courts are tasked with determining Congress's intent when passing the tax code and the Secretary of the Treasury's intent when promulgating regulations. A variety of courts can issue tax-related opinions. For most tax professionals, the U.S. Tax Court comes to mind. However, the United States District Court issues opinions for clients who pay disputed taxes and are later denied refunds. Appeals can be made to the United States Court of Appeals and ultimately the United States Supreme Court. Finally, let's discuss the Internal Revenue Manual. It identifies the IRS's policies and procedures, plus offers instructions and guidelines. The manual also indicates the IRS's operational tasks and administration responsibilities. The manual guides IRS employees implementing the tax code and Treasury regulations. The Internal Revenue Manual does not have the force of law. Instead, the courts have repeatedly found that the manual merely provides guidance to IRS employees. Nevertheless, it is critical that Offer and Compromise tax professionals have a working knowledge of the IRM. Of course, the Internal Revenue Manual is published by the IRS, and thankfully, it's available online to all tax professionals. Thank you for listening to this video, and please spread the word to your fellow tax professionals. The National Offer and Compromise Academy is available to help professionals expand their practice into the profitable area of offer and compromise. The music for this video was provided by www.bensound.com. You can contact the Academy from its contact page at www.oicacademy.com. Enjoy the online course and keep on learning.